Stardew Valley, a chill and cozy capitalism simulator with a very real possibility for you to experience real human emotions like friendship and immense pain. In this game, you take care of your grandpa's old farm, grow and tend to crops and sell them for marginal profit because the state has failed farmers like you. But this time there is also something odd about this valley. The crops look pretty funky, skeletons drop meat, somehow, and trees bear whatever bullshit comes to mind. That's right, my name is Wobble and today we will be playing Stardew Valley with the Randomizer mod. We have been challenged that in 1 year's time we must earn at least $250,000, make it to the bottom of the mines and complete the old community center. Can we make our grandpa's old ram ranch shine again or lose our minds in the madness? Let's go find out. Our tale begins as our new hero, Jock McCocking, wakes up at the farm. The mayor has kindly donated us some due-root seeds to get us started, whatever the hell those may be. For a good start, I cleared the yard and slapped those bitches down and visited the local shop. I got promised by one of the locals that Pierce got all the good stuff, and I surely was not disappointed. All kinds of funky creations like huckleries, tomaloops, daffo suckles, and most importantly, the mysterious O sapling. I acquired whatever was interesting, and then spent the first week taking care of my 80s synthetic piano crops and headed instantly to the caves when they opened. Upon entering the caves, professional cave explorer Mr. Marlon gave us this pink plastic object to defend us with. It had an amazing top damage of 3. I do not wish to know what it was used for beforehand. Luckily I could get rid of it and change it to the little company yield sign pretty fast. All was going pretty uneventfully otherwise. Except one morning, our neighbor Marnie came to give us a pet to take care of. You think it's a stray? It's a crab. I don't think it's supposed to have an owner. Seems about right. You know, he's kind of like Gary from SpongeBob. Regardless, we continued pretty smoothly. We got to level 30 in the mines, where we slayed these dark figures who dropped oil. I am sure there is a joke regarding some recent activities of certain celebrities hidden here, but I'll leave that up to your imagination. During our adventures in the caves, I had come up with a solid bit of copper. I gathered enough cash and copper to upgrade our pickaxe. This would make it more effective. The way caves work in Stardew Valley is that you have 120 levels, and to descend a level you have to find a ladder leading down. They are usually hidden under rocks, and a faster pickaxe would make finding these ladders faster. Surprising, I know. I descended through the snowy caves and icy halls on the next 3 weeks of spring. There is something so funny and ironic in skeletons dropping meat. The only creatures who are but all bone. Making our way down on level 90, we got this sword with touching tips. The Sword of Docking, if you will. The weapon, worthy of the Lord of the Locker Room. Regardless of its familiar appearance, it was a true savior in the caves because of its seemingly limitless attack speed. And before I even knew it, summer was already here. I had been very occupied with the caves and pretty much neglected farming in the spring, and thus was now pretty broke. So obviously I did what every responsible investor should do and just bought the first thing that looked cool. The O sapling. Oh, look at it smiling so nicely, I couldn't say no. As you could have guessed, at this point I had some doubts about our success so far. I mean, our farm looked pretty horrendous, we had no money and hadn't even unlocked the community center yet. But hey, look at that, we made it to level 120 in the mines. Yay! A key we wouldn't need. Alright, it was time to change some things about my approach. I finally visited the wizard who would help me understand the language in the community center. Upon checking the bundles, however, they too had been completely randomized. What the hell is a bindle bundle? While it technically could have been possible to complete these bundles, I would need a kitchen upgrade to the house, which cost 10,000 gold, and even then I would need to learn the recipes through sheer luck, and for the totems I would need to level up foraging, which too would require significant amounts of luck and time, and then pray to god the recipes wouldn't be totally unobtainable, and because I'm a total dumbass and lazy, I could have opened the community center earlier, but now spring had already passed, and what the hell is a bindle bundle? So in case it wasn't obvious, that part of the challenge was pretty much over. An unfortunate twist of events for sure, but with only one goal left, I could now dedicate all my focus on earning that ever-elusive $250,000. Oh man, it's kinda sad to see them splat on the ground like that. Best way to earn money, at least in our situation, was to farm crops. And even though our farm is a bit of a beautiful mess, it was growing all kinds of silly god-denying produce. Rasp tubes, funky pomomelons, cuckoo drops, and whatever else the insanely manic populace of the valley would eat, we had it on demand. Yummy and nutritious. I spent my days watering all the crops, cutting wood, and before long summer came to an end and we had a nice 10k in the bank. Seeing that fertilizer was pretty easy to obtain thanks to the randomizer, I could easily raise the quality of our crops and sell them for a higher price. At the start of fall I bought 100 tangachokes, 100 macranites and some RTU flowers. Weird ass names. However, the day's activities had gotten me very exhausted, so I decided to continue tomorrow. This was also the day I learned what the O in the O sapling stood for. Omelette. Or so I thought. Imagine my surprise when the next day the tree grew a purple firework. That's right, all 3 drops are also randomized. I didn't pay it much mind for now, I mean we only had 1 tree and a million crops to water. And so the days of fall passed, taking care of my gardens and selling the produce. Really, that's really about all I did. These tangachokes were pretty dang profitable though. At the end of fall, we had a nice lump sum of $175,000. Pretty good. Still, a little ways away from our goal. Luckily, we still had one last season to prove ourselves. Unsurprisingly, winter is a pretty awful time to grow crops in. I had no better idea on where to earn cash than to break up everything we had on our farm. And so I spent day after day doing hard, back-breaking labor. Let me tell you that holy balls this was boring, I did nothing but hold left click for like 5 hours straight. Just going in and out, in and out, in and out. I was going insane and pretty fast. But come that 28th day we were still pretty far away from our goal. So as a desperate last-ditch effort I sold everything we had, went to sleep, and crossed my fingers. And there we go. While we didn't directly possess 250,000, we had through our last day's selling passed the mark on total earnings. So I would consider this a success. 2 out of 3 parts of the challenge completed successfully, that's not too bad. But there was something I still wanted to see. I felt that a certain unique plant species had not yet shown its true potential. Since the challenge's time was up, it meant I was free to test some things. I acquired a small loan of $5 billion and bought about 1,000 O saplings. I planted them as tight as possible and slept away the entire spring to let them grow. Ah, what a beautiful sight. Nothing but garbage as far as the eye can see. I'll tell ya, this is what heaven must look like. There was immense amounts of totally unusable bullshit all around. But would you be surprised if I told you that after going through like, oh, I don't know, 400 trees, I finally found all the totems needed for the bundle. 12 weird-ass sea snails as a reward. Boy, do I feel like a champion. And yes, to my amusement, the bundles that opened afterwards were also completely and utterly idiotic. Thank you all so much for watching, this was fun, I really like the added chaos that Randomizer mods bring, really tickles my funny bone. As per usual, if you enjoyed this video, do remember to drop a like and subscribe for more chaotic moments and curious situations we often find ourselves in on this channel. Hope you have an amazing week, stay awesome, I've been Wobble, yours truly, and I will see you in our next adventure. Take care.